I said that it's not something that I wanted to do because I did not like criminals before. By the way, for some of you, you do not know me, I'm one of the full-time missionaries of Global Harvest Fellowship. I do full-time prison ministry. I take care of the good guys. And I go to 2 prisons. And what's his name? Could you project that?
Jet.
Yeah, okay. That's it. That's all. Stay there. I do full-time prison ministry, and you go to see some, just few pictures. But this one is also my recent trips in the Philippines. I did 3 mission trips, 2 last year. The longest was 7 weeks. And recently, a month ago, I went there again to minister to the squatters in San Mateo, Rizal, among the squatters. Prisoners, the poor people. 2 sectors of society that we often, not that we don't like them, it's just that, just different environment, different culture. Because even prisoners, they have their own culture, they have different environment. And they have different, especially those who have been in prison for a long time. The longest that I ever had was a guy who killed somebody and served in prison for 33 years. He was given death sentence. But by God's grace, it was commuted from life to 70 to 50. And because of good behavior, eventually he was enrolled to the Christian program where I'm a volunteer, teacher and facilitator and counselor and mentor. And he got out and doing well. And the oldest that I had was 73-year-old man. And every time I had him in my class, I said, why are you still here? Come on, get out here. Said, Daniel, if you could do something for me, And I would say to the warden, let him go. And the youngest was 17, almost 18, at the prisons there in Texas. But here, I did prison ministry while we were in South Brunswick for 3 years, and I went to youth facilities here, juveniles, one in Jamestown and one in Yardville. I go there every week. In Jamestown, the youngest is 13 years old to 17. And then in Yardville, from 17 to 25. Young people. Then I did also help in the one juvenile, they call it youth facility in Texas, where these young guys from 11 years old to 17, these are very young, and yet they are scary people, because even though they're young, they have killed people. They rape women, and they have done so crazy things. And some young people that you see, where they left already? They're downstairs. Young kids. No young kids here. They're downstairs, right? Talking about 13 years old who kill people. And they are enrolled in this facility exclusively for them. And this is their only chance. If they pass this program, then they would not be sent to an adult facility. Because if you do not behave, you do not change, then you will join the adult population. So they are required to attend all these youth offenders to attend this. They study there, finish their education up to high school, and hoping that they would change, because if they don't change, then they would be removed from that youth facility and they will be included in the adult facility. And that's a terrible place to be. Because in that adult facility, they don't only get beaten up, but they will be raped, and they will learn, they will be more educated in criminal, ways, other ways of things that adult people do, and crazy stuff that they do outside. And even in prison, some of my guys were also drug dealers inside the prison in Texas. And there was one time that one of my guys found, one of the guards saw him has a cell phone. He had a cell phone, and he tried to flush it in the toilet. And the woman officer was so fast that he was able to get it. And that strong man, he was able to wrestle down. And that was really a bad thing to do, because if you discover that you have a cell phone, probably they will add like 10 to 20 years. And one time, this guy serving life, and he got a cell phone, because you can buy that from corrupt officers. Pay for $2,000, $3,000, you get a cell phone.
Wow.
And he called the senator, the Texas senator. He was so bold enough to threaten the senator.
Wow.
So it was traced that it happened in one prison. So they closed all the prisons in Texas, and they finally got the guy. And he said, "What are you going to do to me since I am serving life?" Yeah, that's what he thought. You know where they put him? We have a facility that I have not gone to. I go to two prisons in Richmond, close to Sugar Land, Texas. Yeah, the fourth facility is called Jester 4. And those are people who are inmates who have mental problems. And that guy who is so bold, to threaten a senator, he thought that he could get away with it since he's serving life. He was placed there in the mental facility, and he was forced to take those medicines. The medicines that do not cure. And they get worse there. Why they get worse? Because some problems that they are experiencing are not necessarily mental, but spiritual. That's why even nurses here, like my wife is a nurse, some medicines do not work because the problem is spiritual. Sometimes it's satanic, demonic. And that's why even if you give a medicine, some of them, like the one I saw by Viluna when I was there pastoring a church in Cubao before coming to America. I saw this military man running away from the doctors. And you know what he did when they finally caught up on him? He was drinking the water, the toilet bowl, from the toilet bowl. Crazy people. And that's what happens also in the mental facility, prison in Texas. People, they kill themselves. They drink from the toilet bowl. I don't mean to be gross here, but I'm very graphic in my illustration, right? Because I'm very practical man. And I am. When you do prison ministry, you have to. Because when you do prison ministry, these guys who are very expert in checking on people before they kill you, before they steal from you, they observe you well. And even some of our volunteers at the prison, if you go there and you try to help them and pretend that you can do it, they can spot you if you are faking it. And they would tell me, said, "Daniel, don't let that guy come here again. Tell the director, I'm in a Christian program in one prison." They said, "We don't like him." Why? He's not really here to help us. He doesn't know what he's doing. And because he's not honest, he's not sincere. They can spot you. They can spot you. That's why I have to be honest, and the Lord placed me there in prison ministry